Hi, I'm Brandy Taylor, one of the founders of Principles of Parenting. And today we are going to talk about boundaries. Yay! Everybody's favorite subject, right? Not so much. So if you're anything like I was when you were growing up, you were probably told many times, don't do that or else you're going to get spanked. You're going to get grounded forever. You're never going to be able to do blah, 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 right? So fear and intimidation was a common way to set boundaries back in previous generations. Now, there's very, very healthy ways to set boundaries, and then there's ones kind of like that. So we typically tend to go with whatever we grew up with as our own tools as a parent until we have something to replace it with. So this was kind of a very interesting example that came up the other day when I was talking to my son. So he's telling me about his friend in school that likes to chat a lot and has been getting in a fair amount of trouble with the teacher. So he's chatty, and the teacher has asked him to stop. Now, the next step would be, I've told you that this is not acceptable behavior in the class. We are now going to move into like escalation, but the escalation will be you are going to have detention, or you are going to go to the principal's office, or whatever the consequence may be in place, that this is just not acceptable behavior because you're disrupting the class, right? So that would be a great way to set a boundary and to follow through with it. However, that's not what this teacher did. No, the teacher instead decided she was going to come up and slap the desk and throw pens and pencils at this kid to try and get him to stop because he was disrupting the class. Now, it's fascinating that in an environment like teaching, that again, the teacher is kind of falling back into an old system of what she knew, how and like what she knew and how to set that boundary. So until we have new tools, we can't really use anything but what we know. It's important to know how to set very healthy boundaries, how to have that discussion with your children so there's no anger. You don't have to get angry. They don't have to get angry. They might. And it's okay. Kids are absolutely meant to push against boundaries. It's part of how we learn. It's part of how we feel safe and secure and confident within ourselves. We know we can do that and we're okay. It's a very interesting thing that happens when we actually do have well set boundaries in our lives. And honestly, as adults, we are constantly pushing boundaries too. Some of them we accept and some of them we don't. Some people are rule breakers. And some people just find it absolutely necessary to follow those rules. So it is a question of where the boundary is set, how solid that boundary is, if it's important, what are the consequences moving forward. And consequences really are just outcomes. If you really choose to continue doing this, the outcome is not going to be preferable to you. You're really not going to enjoy this because honestly, this is a really inappropriate behavior, or this is an unacceptable danger, or this is. So we want to make sure that we just set boundaries very, very healthy with our kids and have this dialogue that allows them to understand enough that they feel respected and safe and secure with you as the authority. If you want to know more about boundaries and get in the goods and into it so that you can really set some good, healthy boundaries with your kids and that they can set healthy boundaries with you too, because as your kids grow, you kind of want them to learn how to set boundaries, and ones that are important to them should be followed. It's a respect thing, right? We're teaching these beautiful human beings to be respectful and to be respected. So if you want to learn more about this, click the link below, watch our beautiful little presentation. It's not very long. And you get the most amazing gift. I'm so excited to give this to you. So click the link below because that roadmap is going to be amazing for you and your family. And I'm so excited to give it to you. And if you feel like this is jiving for you and you really want to actually like look into this more, follow through. Until next time, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful parents. Love and light.